we have reached the saturation point, or rather say liquid saturation temperature. So from point 2 to point 3, one phase change will occur, that is from liquid phase to the gaseous phase. That phase change will take place from point 2 to point 3, but from point 1 to point 2 there is no phase change at all, mind it. Only the temperature is being increased from 30 degrees centigrade up to its boiling temperature. Then from point 2 to point 3 the phase change is occurring. So I can write 2 to 3 phase change starts. Phase change starts. That means from point to 2 point, while it is reaching to point 3, only you can see the specific volume is continuously increased, but temperature is being constant, so it is a constant temperature line. Okay, so during this zone 2 to 3, temperature and pressure, both temperature and pressure both constant. Mind it that during phase change, pressure and temperature, both these thermodynamic property will be remain constant, but specific volume is increasing. Okay, so point 2 was the liquid saturation point, and point 3, while it is reaching at point 3, that is also a saturation point, but here the liquid to vapor transformation is being completed. Okay, so if I drop some vertical line from here, so there basically this one is the Vf and this one is the Vg. Vf stands for specific volume for the liquid part and Vg specific volume for the gaseous part. And in between these two span, that means from Vg, if I subtract Vg minus Vf, then what will be that? That is Vfg. This notation I have already used earlier. The interval of specific volume at gaseous state with the specific volume at the liquid state, that is known as Vfg. Okay, so 2 to 3 the phase change is completed. That point of time, both this property, temperature and pressure, both are remaining constant. Now if you supply the heat continuously, then after crossing 3, you can see the temperature line is getting increased. Sorry, the pressure line is getting increased. That is basically the constant pressure line. I should put a note over here. It is a constant pressure line. This point 1, 2, 3, 4, they are basically joining a constant pressure line. A constant pressure line, if you put it on a TV plot, it will look like this. Now from point 3 to point 4, you can see the temperature is getting, suddenly it is being increased because you are supplying continuous heat to it. And from point 3 to point 4, it is basically the superheating region. So point 3 to point 4, that is basically superheating. That means there is no moisture at all. It is a complete dry gas. So that is known as superheated vapor. Superheated vapor. The condition of that steam is superheated vapor. Okay, so these 3-4 line is also a kind of constant pressure line. From point 1, 2, 3, 4, it is a constant pressure line, mind it, constant pressure line. Okay, now if we do the process that what we have done over here, we have changed the phase of that particular 30 degrees centigrade water, I am assuming here, up to its boiling temperature. Then it is converted into gas at point 3. then 0.3 to 0.4 it is being converted into superheated vapor. Okay, now we are doing, suppose this pressure, this process, we are assuming that is a constant pressure line. Suppose it is 3 bar, 3 times the normal atmospheric pressure. Now if we do the same process for different pressure like 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar or less than atmospheric pressure, so you can get all these points for different pressure. If you do the experiment with some different pressure values, then obviously you should get this kind of line. Multiple lines you can achieve. So if we achieve those multiple lines, then you can join those points, so you can have this kind of plots. Suppose below than that pressure, again it will be look like this kind of line will come, or that kind of line, multiple lines will come. And if we join these points, that means 2 points, suppose this is the 2, this is 2 prime, this is 2 double prime, these points, and it is 1 prime, 1 double prime. Similarly these points are 3 prime, 3 double prime, and these points are 4 prime, 4 double prime. Now I think it is easy to understood. Easy to understand now? We have done that experiment multiple times and joining all those points by a curved line. So it will be look like this kind of plotting TV. You can see I have written P1, P2, P3, P4. That means they are the different pressure. They are the constant pressure line, that means isobar line, but different pressure. And this AC line, obviously, that is well known to us. That is what? AC is saturated liquid line. I am writing all these things in short. And BC, it is also a saturation line, but it is saturated vapor line, isn't it? Point C, that is critical point. So I have already explained all these things earlier. So in different plot, if we draw that particular phase change process for water, it will be look like this. And you can see this blue color dotted line, they are basically the dryness fraction. So X is nothing but dryness fraction, and dryness fraction is nothing but the quality of steam. If you can see, while you are moving from this line to that line, the dryness fraction value, I have written that first one X equals to 0.2 and the last one I have expressed by X equals to 0.8. So obviously we know the saturated liquid line here, the dryness fraction is 0, and the saturated vapor line, the dryness fraction is nothing but 1. So that's why you can see the dryness fraction from 0.2 to 0.8 it is being increased, and while you are reaching at this line, that is the BC line, that is the dryness fraction 1 value will come there, because it is a complete saturated vapor. There is nothing, moisture is present there. Okay, so that is the whole thing regarding the TV diagram of phase change operation for water. Okay, I think it is clear to you, and you can compare all these things with PV diagram also, so it will be clear for you or easy to understand the thing. Now we are moving to HS diagram, which is also known as Mollier diagram. Now one thing I have actually forgot to say over here, that is for 2 to 3 zone, like 1 to 2 zone I have expressed by sensible heating, then similarly 2 to 3, that zone where that phase transformation is occurring, that is actually the heat is supplied, that location, that is known as latent heat. That latent heat at this 2 to 3 location, or you can say hidden heat. Why it is so? Because the amount of heat you are supplying at 2 to 3 region, that heat is cannot be measured easily if we put a thermometer over there. It cannot measure the change of temperature, because no temperature can be sensed. All the heat is being supplied it will be utilized to change the phase from liquid to gas. That's why that heat is hidden there, we say. So the heat, whatever it is being supplied during the phase transformation, it is known as latent heat or hidden heat. And that hidden heat actually is expressed by one notation, that is HFG. We can say that up to this sensible heating, the notation it is expressed, that is HF. We know that for constant pressure the heat is equals to the enthalpy. I have explained these things earlier. I am repeating my words. At constant pressure the amount of heat is equals to the enthalpy. So that's why the heat whatever is being supplied from 1 to 2, that is known as sensible heat. That sensible heat can be expressed with the notation of HF. Okay, the latent heat, which whatever is being supplied for the phase transformation, that is expressed as HFG. And so this HF, HFG and Ag, they are the basically heat. From there I can write that HFG is nothing but Ag minus HF, just like the specific volume. That same expression we have used for the specific volume, that VFG is equals to Vg minus Vf. That thing we have shown in earlier video. Similarly, we can use the same formula for enthalpy also, that is HFG, that is the latent heat, is equals to Hg minus Hf. Understood? Now we are moving to the HS diagram, which is also known as Molliard diagram, because due to the name of the scientist who has invented it. Now basically that Molliard diagram is nothing but the HS diagram. So Molliard diagram, that is the specific enthalpy to specific entropy diagram, is known as the Molliard diagram. So I have shown a small region of that Molliard diagram because it is basically available in our steam table book. If you have a steam table book, so steam table how it is look like, I will show you afterwards. So inside a steam table book you can get a Molliard chart or Molliard diagram, or from any web source you can also get the Molliard diagram. After seeing the Molliard diagram, you people don't be afraid after seeing that Molliard diagram from any book or from any web source. It's a very, very simple thing. Obviously I will do some numerical using the Molliard diagram also. So Molliard diagram means what? Molliard diagram means it is the HS plot. So in this particular region I have shown three color lines. One is blue colored line as basically the pressure line, constant pressure lines. Okay, this one, they all are representing different pressure level. The red colors is basically the dryness fraction line. Okay, dryness fraction, obviously the top one is the dryness fraction 1, and if you go downward, dryness fraction will be getting lesser. And this black colored line, these lines, not the box one, box is a kind of showing you the particular region. I am talking about these black lines. Lots of line will be there. I haven't drawn the rest lines. If we draw lots of line, it will be more messy to look. Okay, so these black colored line, they are known as the temperature lines. Okay, and one also the specific volume line will be there, but I am not drawing or showing those lines because it will be much more clumsy if we draw those lines. So basically using this Molliard diagram, you can get 6 different values from the Molliard diagram. Like temperature you can get, then second one, that is pressure also is available from Molliard diagram. Then third, that is the dryness fraction, I am writing in short dF. Then fourth, it is enthalpy, or rather say specific enthalpy, I am writing in symbol. Then specific entropy, that is small s. And the internal energy, or rather say the specific volume I am writing is small v. So all these informations are easily available from a Molliard diagram or Molliard chart. Okay, so basically Molliard diagram is based on some experimental values. Okay, so these experimental values helps us to find all these values at different pressure and different temperature. Okay, so this dryness fraction values or pressure values, if you take some observation data from an experiment and if you put all those values on this plot, then from this plot you can achieve any of these 6 properties. Okay, how they can be find out, how they can be that diagram can be used, I will clarify it later while I am going to solve some numerical based on Mollier diagram. But mind it, mark my words, it is very easy to observe a Mollier diagram, and to that Mollier diagram is used to solve numerical problems also. So instead of using steam table, you can also use a Mollier diagram, but the problem is that Mollier diagram cannot be used for examination purpose, because Mollier diagram, if you use it, it will be more easy to find all those values from Mollier diagram. But the problem is that it is based on observation based, because suppose 3 candidates are taking some data from Mollier diagram based on same value, but it is depending on the observational accuracy. So obviously some deviation will be there between those 3 students. That's why Mollier diagram would not be used for examination purpose. We are going to use a steam table, but obviously I will explain that how Mollier diagram is helpful for finding any of this property from Mollier diagram. Okay, so from now you should know that the Mollier diagram is nothing but the HS plot, and these 6 properties can be find out anytime with the help of this Mollier diagram. Okay, next I am going to explain that what is steam table, because steam table is so important for us, and how to observe or how to get values from steam table, it is very very important. Each and every mechanical engineering student, not only mechanical engineering, a part of food technology or electrical technology or chemical engineering, those students are marine engineering who basically goes with this subject, they all are aware of this steam table. It is very important for us. Next we are going to explain what is steam table and how it can be observed.